character, and on the back of the news about Thomas Tuchel staying with England, and I thought he was one of those people who might be in the frame. How close are we sort of, probably most people getting on board with the fact that Michael Carragher is going to be the...
my number one choice now.
Pardon?
He's my number one choice.
That's what I'm saying. So you're there now. How much of the Manchester United fan base is there?
I'm not sure. The reason I've got to this position where he's my number one choice is because if you look at it, kind of, you look at the managers that are available in the summer. Obviously, Tuchel, Ancelotti have counted themselves out of it. For me, I think the Pochettino ship sailed. I don't, after the Chelsea thing, I'm not really sure about that one. And then the other one's Nagelsmann again. I think he's a great coach, but me and Rory agree, like, do you want someone rocking up on a skateboard at Carrington? I'm not too sure about that one. And, like, just, do you want to wait for him to be finished at the World Cup as well? The pre-season's massive for us. So then outside of that, you got Luis Enrique, who I believe probably should be the club's first choice. But there doesn't seem to be any noise around that or any feeling that United are going after him. So I look at Michael Carragher and I think if he can keep the style of play going, if he can keep improving the players, which he has done, I think if you look at Benjamin Sesko, for example, I think Gary Neville and Roy Keane have been so harsh on him, and I think they're wrong. I think if you look at his last 6 appearances in the Premier League, 2 of those have been starts. He scored 5 goals. His finish against West Ham the other day was a world-class finish. I'm not saying he's world-class, but the finish was a world-class one. It was great, and I think he's starting to settle, and that's a player that hasn't been selected every game, but Michael Carrick's still in his ear, still keeping him going and still making him fight for a spot. So I really like what I'm seeing from him. His style of football is good. We're scoring goals. We're defensively a lot better. Obviously, there'll be a period of time when the pressure's on and we get a little bit shaky, but I think Carrick could be the one.
Is it you? I think when you talk about Luis Enrique and stuff, and I think we've been there and tried different managers. We've tried Mourinho and Van Gaal, then we've tried the likes of Ten Hag and Amarin, which don't work. I just think, for me, Carrick makes sense. I felt that from the minute he was mentioned of going in, not because obviously we played together and we're friends. I just think he's a real calm influence. And what I've spoke about massively, I've got 2 boys in the academy. I've spoke about this a lot. There was a massive disconnect from the academy and first team, and there was, and whether people say that's right or wrong, and immediately what we've seen is this connection come back together, which Man United was known for. It was known to be a family club, and Michael's done that actually in a very short period of time, where we're seeing the first team coaches at the academy games, and there's a real interest in the academy again.
How did you feel as a parent of one of the academy players and a club legend when Amarim kind of came out and was taking little digs at Chido Obi and...
I don't think it's right to do that at any level, is it? But what I was talking about, I was there with Michael Carrick. Our boys in the same academy team, and we used to sit in the car and have a sleep in the car park, the 2 of us. Because did
you have the hairdryer as well?
Carragher stood there like that. We in the car park and actually with 2 players who are very experienced, who know the football club, just even someone to come out and say, can we have 10 minutes with you to just have a word, just to see what you feel about the football club. And I really believe, and people might agree, disagree, having someone in there who knows the club, who cares for the club, it makes a big difference. And what you said about Sesko, what Michael's doing, he's managing the whole squad. He's managing them really well. The players who are starting, they're fine, you don't have to manage them, you do the coaching with them. But the other lads who aren't playing, I've had the impact. Cunha, when he come on in the first couple of games, had the impact. We've seen him run back and work hard. Sesko coming on and having an impact. Harry Maguire looks back to the player we once thought he was. Martinez, he's having an impact on the whole squad, the whole football club. And I think sometimes we're quick to overlook what's right there in front of you and say, we've got this manager from Turkey or from Spain who's got to come in and do this, when actually they've no interest on the football club. At least this will give the foundations for the club to keep building, whether in 2, 3, 4 years' time Carragher goes or moves on, the infrastructure will be back in that football club. That's what I believe.
Adam, do you think Manchester United now, I'm sure they must be, but it's difficult for them as a club. When do they actually stop? Because you've got to be speaking to people. They must be speaking to agents right now and almost have this plan together. But how long before they've actually got to stop speaking to other people, or are they,
You'd hope they've already kind of started doing that, but when a couple of your options start to rule themselves out, maybe the owner of the club should shut his mouth and get to work rather than embarrassing himself on a world stage. I don't know. I think they have to start doing that, but it doesn't feel like the Enrique one is even a thing. Tuchel, Ancelotti have gone.
Can I ask about Tuchel? Do you think Tuchel, in the experience that you've had, I know he signed this deal. I think it's a stupid thing from the FA, like absolutely pointless, bidding against themselves, but they've done it, so fine. But does it actually matter? Like, surely if a club like Manchester United come along, say England go out to Mexico in the quarterfinals, Tuchel has signed this new deal, but Manchester United say, we want you to be our manager. Surely the rates that Manchester United can pay, and also the history of the club.
If he wanted the job,
I think
if he wanted the job, he just doesn't sign.
there's a chance he could still go. But I think from the FA's point of view, I think what they probably have done, or they're hoping they've done, is stop all that noise during the World Cup.
Yeah.
Because if they hadn't signed that, then a lot of the noise would have been, is he going to leave after the World Cup? Is he going to go Man United? Where actually I think putting that extra 2 years in place will stop a lot of that noise. And then listen, if he goes out in the quarterfinals, does he deserve to have that 2 years?
No, absolutely not.
So I think it's on the front end of that, stopping all that expectation. That's what I'd assume.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about Tuchel though anymore. Like, there's a time where I really rated him, and I still do rate him as a coach. But it's like he's always falling out with boards everywhere he goes. Like PSG, Chelsea, that happened. Is he going to get on with the idiots we've got upstairs? I'm not really sure about that. Like, are we going to see him be able... Is it going to be something that in 6 months' time he's just getting sacked, and we're like, we should have stuck with Michael Carragher, who's now doing well wherever he's gone. I don't know, I think just give it Carragher. I don't know. I'm starting to get used to the idea.
Is there a fear there? So
not just 6, I think it's like 9 games, he's not lost a game.
I said something about Rooney and Carragher, and I still stick by it, in that when I think one of the big boys appoint a manager, you've got to have... I always think, can I see them winning the league, with that manager? And I said I couldn't with sort of Michael Carragher or Rooney at Chelsea. But you're at a stage now where actually, if you go and get the new shiny toy or the next sort of big coach, he could be that genius who takes you to the title. But you could also have a situation where it actually... It becomes really bad or toxic. He doesn't get the club. So almost Michael Carrick's that safe pair of hands where he just makes everyone just feel a little bit. But you actually believe he could go on and win you like the Champions League or the Premier League?
Look, that remains to be seen, obviously. But from what I see from him tactically, you look at the spell he had before, the spell he's had now, I think it's about 9 or 10 games altogether. We haven't lost any of those games. And the managers he's come up against, he's constantly changing the style of play, the tactics within that as well. And I think some of his tactical selections and choices have helped us win a lot of these games. I think his substitutions have been very good at times as well. There's none of that, we're bringing on a centre-back when we're 1-0 down against 10 men.
What was all that about?
It was nuts. I'm actually kind of embarrassed that I kind of stood by and just was watching that happen. I remember the Kobbie Mainoo thing was proper annoying me, like that Kobbie Mainoo wasn't playing. How can a manager not see that talent in that player?
Is Carragher just doing what a good manager should have done with Man United? Is Carragher looking good or just making a hammer of it?
I said this before he went in. I said, and obviously I've tried in coaching, whenever I had to go, but so when he went in there, Man United just need simplicity. They just need common sense in the team selection, in players running forward and running back at the same speed they're running forward. And which was not happening. And I think all he's just done, he's got them organised, got them hard to beat, and said to them attacking players who've got a little bit more flair, you've got to be the match winners the games, and we'll stay in the game if you win the games. And it's actually very simple what he's done, but very effective, where now what we're seeing is all these coaches or head coaches coming in and, we're seeing rotations all over the place, and, they want to have 1,000 passes with the ball, and that's a success. When actually... just do the basics, right? Get the ball forward, get in the penalty box, back it up, sustain attacks. And I think that's what Michael's done at Man United, and it's working.
And you look at the football as well, it's not just been the results. Like, one of the things, like, if we were getting results, but the football wasn't... Some of the football we're playing at the moment is the best in the league. I know it's only been 4 weeks, but you look at some of the passing moves and all those kind of things. We passed you off the park at times. Could have been 6 or 7 against City. Like, it is really refreshing to see, and be interesting. What is Carragher like on the training pitch with these players, and tactically, how does he kind of see the game? Does he have one kind of outlook, or is he willing to?
No, you have to be able to adapt, don't you, and understand the. Listen, every time we play Arsenal, when I was in the team, and this is what he'll be bringing back into from his memories as well. What worked? Arsenal would have the ball and have a lot of possession. We'd sit back, and we didn't even have to work on a training pitch, because we had a group of players who knew, right, we're playing Arsenal, this is how we're going to play. And we'd sit there, wait, and then hit them on the break. And he's done that, obviously, against City and Arsenal. So he'll have different phases in his mind for the opposition he's playing against. Now, the Fulham game, I thought, was a massive game. And I spoke to him after the game, and he felt that was the biggest game which he's had, not the Arsenal, the City one, because you had to play, and he come through I was at the game, some difficult moments. Fulham played really well with the ball, but that mindset and the mentality of, right, we're going to stay in there. If that was Amarin a few weeks before, 100% he'd lose the game. 100%. So I think he's adapting to different things. He's coaching, he's the lead coach. Even though Steve Holland's in there, Steve will be there as a help and a experience. Michael's the lead coach on everything he's doing. So I just think you've got something there in front of you. Please just don't make any silly...
Could be Zidane.
Sorry?
Could be Zidane, you know what I mean? Could be.
Or Pep.
He might be the one.
Unbelievable.
He might be the one.
So how about this? Manchester United and Chelsea have both denied having any contact with Jurgen Klopp's agent after claims that the clubs made an inquiry for the former Liverpool manager. An article in Transfer Market published today claims both United and Chelsea approached Klopp's representative after the German left Anfield. Mark Kozicki also claims that Klopp could have replaced Gareth Southgate as the England manager. Well, Klopp is currently the global football director at Red Bull, having left Liverpool after 9 years. When he left, he said he wouldn't return to club management and wouldn't manage another Premier League club other than Liverpool. Well, this is what Kozicki has told Transfer Market. Maybe at some point he'll say he needs to smell the locker room again, but at the moment he's very, very happy in his role. Before joining Red Bull, Jurgen could have coached the USA or England, probably also Germany, if Julian Nagelsmann hadn't already been there. Even Chelsea and Manchester United inquired, although Jurgen had clearly stated that he wouldn't coach any other club in England. These inquiries keep coming. He's extremely happy with what he's achieved, and it's still wonderful to go down in history as one of the few coaches who only managed 3 clubs and were never fired.
Bruno Fernandes with the win there. Has he got a shout for player of the year? Player of the season in the Premier League?
He's doing really well at the moment. What he's done is he's assumed that captain's leadership role. There's been a lot of talk around him being Manchester United's captain, but what he's done and what he's doing at the moment is showing through his performances that he's a leader. You know, there are different types of leaders. I don't see him coming across as one of the Roy Keane screamer shouter. He seems to be able to do his leadership duties with the ball. Look at the way that he scores the winning goal, and he's a player that I think Manchester United are finally seeing consistency out of. We knew he was a top player when he came, and they knew that how good he could be, but now what he's doing it on a regular basis for them. He's done really well this season.
Oh, we may be seeing a bit of consistency from Manchester United as well. Maybe forget about the West Ham game. Fulham, question mark as well. But I mean, from Carragher coming in, 5 games, 4 wins, 1 draw.
What you're seeing, in my opinion, is they've just been given clear instruction of A, how we play when we have the ball, B, what we do when we don't have it, and C, flair players, go and be creative. Kobe Mainoo, get on the ball, go and be creative. You know, the players that weren't in the team, I'm sure that Michael would have put his arm around and got them where they need to be. You look at the result, obviously, there that they got at Arsenal. What they did was they showed huge character in that game as well, because they came, obviously, from losing positions. That Michael has instilled a bit of that real sort of... It used to be called Fergie time, didn't it? And that's what they seem to be trying to bring back now. His big players are performing for him. Now, that begs the question as to why weren't they performing for the last manager? The players haven't changed. The formation has. Maybe there's a lift at the training ground. That man, Michael, knows, along with Johnny Evans in his backroom staff, exactly what it means to A, play for Manchester United, but more importantly, how it feels. That's really, really important, that, because some of those players that were there might not have understood that. We've only got to go to Johnny, to the manager, to Michael, to understand that feeling. It's a special place to play football.